Hey guys, it's Austin with Pickleball Playbook, and this is the ultimate pickleball gear guide. By the end of this video, you're gonna know the exact gifts to either get yourself or that significant other. We're gonna be breaking down everything from bags, to paddles, to sunglasses, to balls, to shoes, to even shoe inserts. And the best part about it is I have literally used all of this gear. As you can tell, I'm a pickleball addict. And by the way, everything in this video is going to be time-stamped according to its category. So if you're interested in shoes, you can just go to the description, look for the shoes timestamp, click on it, or if you're interested in bags, whatever it might be, you can do that and just skip to that specific part of the video. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's open the playbook. And by the way, lockerroompickleball.com is giving each of you 15% off your entire order of anything that's in this video that's on their site. So make sure to check the links in the description for the specific thing that you want. You can use code PLAYBOOK at checkout at lockerroompickleball.com. And again, that's 15% off. All right, we're gonna be starting with paddles, specifically with the Selkirk paddles, just because they were furthest over to the left, easiest to grab. We're going to start by talking about the Boom Stick. So this is one of my favorite paddles I have used. I just recently used it for the first time, and I was pretty much blown away at just how good it is. It has the Infinigret texture on it, and so it's gonna last a long time. They say 3 times longer. It might even be 4 times longer than carbon fiber. I don't know how true that is, but what I will say is I've used paddle with Infinigret, actually the Luxe that I have here, and it does last a long time. I don't know how much longer though, but it definitely lasts longer than carbon fiber. So I like that about it. But my favorite part from using it was the amount of control that I got while not at the expense of power. When I wanted power, I had power. When I needed control for my resets and my dinks, I had that. This paddle's expensive. It's $333, which is pretty nuts. Obviously that's discounted with a specific discount from the Locker Room Playbook. But still, that's an expensive paddle. So that's why I wouldn't put it as my top paddle that I would get. But if you're in that price range, this one's pretty much a no-brainer. I really like it. Comes in 2 different shapes. We have the elongated shape, and we also have the wide body shape. Elongated is going to be for players that shank the ball near the tip. So if you're shanking near the tip, I would recommend elongated. If you're shanking near the sides, I'd recommend wide body. Obviously, you just have more surface that way. And that's my recommendation with all of these paddles that are wide body and elongated. That's what you'd want to do. Up next, we have the Luxe, which I'm going to bring over to you. Oh, the Luxe right here. And this also has that Infinigret. But what I will say, at least to me, it feels like it's literally half the amount of Infinigret on the Luxe. This is your ultimate control paddle. If that one's your ultimate power paddle, well, you still have a ton of control. I'm really impressed by it. This is your ultimate control paddle. It's thick. The thicker the paddle, the more control that you have. And I really like this paddle. It comes in a ton of different designs. I used it for quite a while, but what I found was I needed more power. And as you advance levels, you need more and more power. As you're in lower levels, like below 4.5, you need way more control. It's kind of funny to see a lot of players out there using power paddles that are below that level, and it's at their own expense. They're losing because they keep popping up their dinks, they keep popping up their drops because they're getting too much power. You need control in your game if you're below the 4.5 level. This would be the top paddle that I would recommend. Used it for a while. I really like it. I needed more power in my game specifically. Up next, we'll take all 3 of these actually. We got the Pro XR Jolt. This one I've only hit with a couple of times. The reason that I included it is because it's really cheap. It's only 120 bucks. So if you're in that price range, this is one that I'd recommend. It's a little bit dead around the edges, but if you hit the sweet spot, it feels almost just as good as any of these other paddles that are up here. But that's the Pro XR Jolt. Then we have the TKO-C and the ALW-C. So this one's Annalee Waters paddle. It's the wide body like I talked about before. If you shank on the sides, you want to use a wide body. It's thinner. I want to say that this one's 12 point something. It's 12 millimeters or right around there. Pretty much 13. This one's 14 point something, pretty much 15 millimeters. I'd recommend the 14 point something millimeter. Obviously it's a little bit thicker, but these are the most powerful paddles. Like, not the most, but they have a ton of power. And so you want to go as thick as possible with that. I really like this one. You can also get this ALW one a little bit thicker as well. So look to get around that 14 point, let's see specifically what it says. 14.3 millimeter, and this one is 12.7 millimeter. So it's actually closer to 14 for this one. But you're gonna want the 14. I don't recommend any lower than that unless you're a pretty advanced player. But these These shoot rockets. These are countering machines. They're really, really good for counters. They aren't as forgiving though. You don't have as much control as you're gonna get with something like the Boomstick. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I just am recommending to you their paddles based off of me using them, me liking them. But up next, we got the Yola paddles. These are my go-to. I like Yola's paddles. And the first one is the Perseus. This is the one that I use. This is the one that Ben Johns uses. I like it because it's elongated. I shank near the top. Plus, it's not being, there's a ton of paddle surface still. So we have like all the way around here for paddle surface. I really like it. The next shape is the Hyperion shape. This has less paddle surface. It narrows in here and it comes down over here. That's so that you can swing it faster through the air. I don't notice a difference. All that I notice is that I shank the ball a little bit more with the Hyperion, but obviously I'm different than you are. If you want a paddle that's gonna swing faster through the air, you can do that, but honestly, this is the one to get if you're gonna choose between these two. Lastly, we got the wide body, which is the Scorpius. This is what Anna Bright uses and Colin Johns, and this is gonna be for the control player. This one's actually thinner. I use the 16 millimeter for the Perseus and the Hyperion if I were to use the Hyperion. I don't, but I use the 16 millimeter. This one's 14 millimeters, but since it's wide body, it has more control. So even though it's thinner, it has more control just simply because it's a little bit wider. So if you're more of that control player and you shank near the sides, this is what I'd get, 100%. Even if you're a power player, I mean, heck, it's gonna work really great. It's just dependent on where you're shanking the ball. This one's the specific Anna Bright. So I wonder what, Colin Johns might actually be 16 millimeter, but I wouldn't recommend it for this, for the wide body, just simply because it already has a ton of control based off of the shape. But my go-to is gonna be the Perseus Dual. It's more affordable than the Pro 4, which I'll show you the Pro 4 right now. This is a paddle that I used for quite a while, but this one's $289, whereas the Perseus 3S Dual is like $250, I wanna say, or it's right around there. Either way, it's way cheaper, plus the discount that you get with code Playbook. And so it's a no-brainer to choose between the two, the 3S. Plus the 3S I think looks a lot cooler. But this one has a slightly different interior, core, slightly different and slightly different surface. I don't notice a difference. So 100% worth it to just get the 3S if you're gonna choose between that. But honestly, you can't go wrong between the two. If you wanna spend a little bit extra money and get the Pro 4, you can do that. The last two, we're gonna be talking about the Flamingo. Flamingo I've used for a while. What I will say about this paddle is it delaminates really fast. And so it's gonna shoot rockets. That's really the only negative thing that I have to say about it. The surface lasts for a very long time. I would love to put them up against the Infinigrit from Selkirk, but I don't exactly know which one lasts longer, but both last for a very long time. Then we have the Shogun and all bread and butter paddles. I don't have them here with me today, but I've used all of bread and butter paddles. You can't go wrong. And what I love about bread and butter is that their branding is so fun. You really feel like you're a part of their specific brand every single time that you pull it out of your bag. So I really like this one. I think it's a lot of fun. I used the Invader for a very long time. They're now coming out with the Loco. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently that one has foam, and foam is the thing to have right now. So that might be worth trying, but I couldn't recommend it just simply because I haven't used it yet. It hasn't come out yet. So, but those are the paddles. Now let's head on into the shoes. All right, as for shoes, we're just gonna start on the left here and move our way over. So first, we got the Nikes. When these first came out, people were going crazy over these. I really like the design. You can let me know what you think below. What I found is people that are below the age of 30 hate this design with a passion. If they're above the age of 30, they think that it looks sick. And I'm 28. I think that the design looks sick, but they have they literally have a court. I'm trying to show you guys a court. They have a court also inside of there. I think it looks really cool. As you can see, it's super plushy, comfortable. They're slightly heavy. They're not super heavy, but I feel like they keep you grounded. These are like the ultimate doubles shoes. I really like them. Wouldn't be my top recommendation. Obviously, these are the shoes that I wear all the time. I mean, I'm wearing them right now. I'll bring up their other colored pair. They have tons of different colors. These are the Selkirks. The problem with them, you go through them fast. You're gonna cut through the bottom super fast. But they're plushy, a lot like the Nikes, really comfortable. I like them for the side-to-side movement. they have a little edge that comes out here. Feels a little bit better for specifically pickleball. And I got my last 3 pairs for free, so it just made sense for me. But from a comfort standpoint and from a playability standpoint, I really liked them. And then we have Montes. Sorry, these are so dirty because I've used them so many times. But I really like Montes. The only problem with these is that you have to wear long socks. So if you wear short socks, I don't recommend them. Other than that, it's like you're putting your foot into a sock. It's like very stretchy material around the tongue. All around really good shoes. They're pickleball specific. They got pickleballs on the bottom. You don't go through these super fast. You go, if you've ever played with the Babolat's, which I have right here, are these black ones. Babolat's you go through about every 3 months. The Montes is about every 4 months or so. But they have a 6-month warranty, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they do. But as you can see, I've played with these quite a bit. These are the Babolat's. I don't recommend these at all. I don't think that they're comfortable. I don't think that they look good. I just don't like them. I wish I could recommend them, but I don't. Up next, we got the Skechers. I got my wife's pairs here. And I have these cool ones from the locker room. These are the same exact types that I've worn before, but not the same colorway. This is a new colorway, which I thought looked sick. If you're looking for comfort, this is the most comfortable shoe. I couldn't recommend another shoe for comfort. You literally just slip into them. I really like them. They don't last that long. I'd say they last about as long as the Selkirk shoes, but really, really like these shoes. Very comfortable. We got the wife's pairs here. They have just tons of different colorways. And I know that they're Skechers. People hear the word Skechers and they just automatically associate nerdy brand, grandma shoe, grandpa shoe. These are not like that at all. You're not only gonna be comfortable, but they're also lightweight. Move around the court. You got Tyson McGuffin, Catherine Parental wearing them. And those are honestly like right at the top of my list as well. New Balance next. I've used New Balance for a very long time. I like New Balance all around. What I will say about them is that you go through them probably faster than any other shoe. Just the bottoms of them rub through really fast, but I do like them all around. Wouldn't recommend them though, necessarily. I like how they look though. They have a lot of different colorways. Selkirk, these are some old Selkirk when they were in labs, so they could like figure out the exact formula and stuff. I don't even think they sell those anymore, but I brought them just for fun, just simply because I have them out here. Then we have the Uniqlo Rogers. I think it's called the Roger. I like these. I think that they're really comfortable. I've heard mixed reviews from people. I personally think that the bottom is comfortable. I think that they're wide-toed, and I think that they look really good. And who doesn't want to wear a shoe that Roger Federer uses? I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? I'm also a Djokovic fan too. I don't really like Rafael Nadal. Anyways, this isn't a tennis video. We're talking about pickleball. We have the diadems here. These are ones that I wouldn't recommend specifically. I used these and they hurt my knees. And that's just for me personally. So maybe they work for you, but I just found they hurt my knees. I don't know what it was. It felt like I was kind of on a tilt or something, tilting in a certain way. But I didn't like them very much. That is the shoes. But I want to show you guys the inserts. These are the ones that I use. Victory. Can't remember how much you get off. I think it's 20%. This won't be through the locker room, but it'll be linked below. 20% off of these Victory insoles. They're carbon fiber. They're really nice. It just feels like they're giving your feet a massage every single time that you get out and play on the court. I really like them. I'd recommend these over any other insoles that I've ever used. And that's just simply because they really make your feet feel good when you're playing in a tournament. You're gonna be able to last throughout the entire day and your feet aren't gonna get super fatigued and tired. So that is the shoes. Let's head on to the next one. All right, up next we have bags. So first bags that we're gonna be talking about are the ones that are very similar. That is the carbon bag and the Yola bag. For both of these bags, I'm just gonna be breaking down everything that's inside of them, literally just showing you. So first we have this nice Velcro strap that separates these two, and you can kind of wear it like a backpack, put it on one strap. I don't even think I could fit two around it. But that's nice so that this isn't flinging and flopping around when you're holding it, just like a handbag here. So like that. Okay, and then we also have a ton of different zippers. So let's start over here on the edge. We have this one, you can put all kinds of stuff in, and you have tons of different pockets for, like, you can slip your phone in there. There's also a specific zipper inside the zipper. We like lots of pockets when we're looking at a bag because we always have random stuff that we need to put in it. Otherwise your bag becomes a huge mess. I also have over here this little insert you can put glasses or balls in, whatever it is that you want. This huge one, this has this, you guys will know what this lining is called. I'm sure someone will out there. But this is gonna be for your cold stuff you can put in there, or you can just put paddles in there, whatever you want. Nice pocket there, pocket straight down the middle. And I really like these handles to hold on to as you go. I feel like it helps your zippers to move a lot smoother. But you got lots of room inside this bag. You can also fit your shoes. Got a zipper right here. So you unzip this. You can fit your shoes in there. Just note that that's gonna take up some space in your bag. But you have tons of different zippers to use and go through. And then right here, we have this side pocket here for fitting more paddles or more gear or whatever it is, if you wanna put your grips in there, whatever it might be. But that is that bag. I like how on the bottom, I mean, the whole material around this bag, leathery. It's nice, it's gonna last a long time. But when you set it down, it has these 4 little knobs or buttons. I hope you guys can see that, which is super nice so that it's not rubbing up against that leather and ultimately ruining your bag. That's the first one, that's the carbon bag. I like it. Then we have the Yola bag right here. This one has a ton of different pockets and situated in different ways where you can fit a lot of stuff in. So we got our first pocket here. Open it up, you can put balls in there, whatever, grips, accessories. Then we have another accessories one right here. This one, same exact thing, it's a little bit smaller. And then we have that same exact strap so that it's not flinging around and looking ugly like this. Unstrap that, and then you got the double unzip. And you can put your shoes inside here. You got tons of different flaps and zippers and stuff to put stuff in, your gear in. Tons of paddles on the sides. And then this specific zipper over here, you can put your cold stuff in. They actually have 2 of these that have where you can put cold stuff, which is nice. Or you can put paddles in there, whatever it might be. But it's gonna keep your cold stuff colder for longer with that specific material. And then 2 of the same exact carrying as on the other side. Nice little zippers. But yeah, again, put your shoes in here. It has a nice little vent so that your shoes don't stink up your bag. You can also wear this one just like a backpack if you want to, which is nice. And then when you're done with having it as a backpack, you just turn it around onto this side, zip it up, and then you can put on this specific strap. So both of these are definitely in their own category. If you like a bag that looks this specific way, you can use one like this. These are ones that are laying down, not standing up. You can hold them like handbags, or you can put them on like backpacks. So they're very versatile. Up next, we got the forward bags. Forward is a specific pickleball bag. That's all that they do. They do bags, they might do towels now too. But these are really, really good, high quality bags specific for pickleball, and here's why. First of all, we have pockets on the side. This one unzips. There's 2 different bags here, but this one unzips to give you more room to like fit a water bottle in there. There's just zippers everywhere that are very practical. Put whatever you want inside of these zippers, whether that's your phone. There's even a zipper inside of here on the back. You can put stuff in there. There's a nice little pouch here that you can put stuff in. 100% waterproof once you zip it up too. So that's nice for keeping your things that need to stay waterproof, like clothes. I got clothes in here for when I travel and stuff. It also has a specific pickleball paddle insert in here, so you can slip your paddle inside, which is super nice. This is the smaller of the 2 bags. This is the one that I would recommend to the normal player. Since I carry my camera gear and everything else, since I'm constantly filming, I like the bigger bag. This one is the same material on the outside, but a little bit more robust. Like, if you could feel these 2 side by side, it's the same material, but this one like feels thicker. I don't know what it is. I don't know the exact, but this is the one that I use. And as you can see, tons of different paddle inserts. If you have a ton of paddles, ton of junk that you like to carry around, I'd recommend this one. It's also magnetic on the sides instead of a zipper. So if you don't have a water bottle in there, you can just make it flat and then it magnetizes specifically to there, which I think is a really cool touch. But this is a pickleball specific bag. They've put a lot of work into it. If you're not holding as many paddles, you're just the typical player, this is the one that I'd recommend. It's also a whole lot cheaper. All right, up next, we have Old Bessie, the Selkirk bag. This is one that I used for a very long time. I really like it because it sits up, and I like to just carry it as a backpack or grab this strap up here and haul it around. But inside is a little bit of a catastrophe. You can put a ton of paddles in there. If you just have like one paddle, this bag just becomes very dirty, right? If you're junky like me and you throw a ton of stuff in it. But you have your paddle insert here. If you have any more paddles than that, they're just gonna take up your entire bag. But this can hold a ton of paddles, as you can see. I wanna say there's like 12 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can fit at least 12 and zip it up. Then you can also put paddles over here on the side. I like that this strap is super nice. I love the material on this. It's lightweight, 100% waterproof once you zip it up. And then, yeah, you can put stuff over here. Random zippers. We love that, don't we? We love random zippers everywhere. You can put your shoes in here, but that's gonna take up like 90% of the space inside this bag. All around a fantastic bag, but for a stand-up bag, I would definitely put this in my top two. All right, up first, we got the Gearbox glasses. So these specific ones, they're gonna do the job, but they do not look that good. You don't look that fresh in these. I think they look funny. I already look funny in glasses because my nose is crooked, but this makes me look even more funny. But they're gonna get the job done, okay? And I think that they're relatively affordable. Then we have the carbon ones, CRBN. These are ones that I've used for a long time. This is obviously just a new pack inside of here, but they come with 3 different lenses inside. So if I can show you guys, this camera's following me around. 3 different lenses inside. You have your polar lens, you have a see-through lens, and then you have like a shaded lens, if I remember correctly, based off of when I wore them last. I don't use sunglasses that often, just because when you're talking to a camera, people want to see your face, you know? So I'll show you guys what these look like. I think that these look a whole lot more fresh than the other ones, obviously. But these are definitely like that total baseball dude or softball girl. You know, this is what you'd wear out there. But I think that they look fresh, as fresh as glasses can look. I really like the looks of them. These are the polarized lenses, I'm pretty sure. But I'm pretty sure they come in different colors as well. You can also change out the exact nose strip. Lots of stuff comes in here. But these are the ones that I would recommend out of the 2. But again, if you're just in it for eye protection and a lower price, then I would recommend the Gearbox based off of the ones that I've used. There's a ton of different options out there, like kitchen blockers as well, if you guys have seen those. I just think kitchen blockers look so nerdy. I could never do it, but that's just me. Maybe they don't look nerdy to you and you'd prefer to protect your eyes, which is really smart. Get yourself some kitchen blockers, but these are gonna do the job as well. All right, lastly, we have balls. I'm gonna be breaking these down specifically. We're gonna start with the Gearbox balls. So with the Gearbox ball, these are kind of an interesting feel and shape. The fastest ball I've ever played with. It's an absolute rocket, but it's also consistent. It's gonna be consistent out on the court. It's gonna last a long time, but it's extremely fast. So if you're playing with this ball during the winter, I wouldn't recommend it. In the summer, when things get super hot and the ball slows down, this is honestly one of the top recommendations that I would have is the Gearbox ball. I think that they did a really good job with this specific ball. The only thing is, Gearbox isn't gonna pay the PPA millions of dollars to be the sponsored ball. That's just not the Gearbox way. So let me show you this one. This is the Franklin. I'm not gonna open these because I'm gonna take these back to the locker room, but Franklin's the go-to. I've been using Franklin ever since I started playing pickleball. Really good for winter, not very good for summer. It has some inconsistencies in the bounce. Every once in a while it'll skid or it'll bounce a little bit weird. But overall it's a good ball and it's cheap. Franklin also has the best warranty of any company. You can message them and be like, hey, this snapped and it was a year ago. No questions asked, they'll replace. I don't know if they'll do that specifically for the balls, but I would imagine if you asked, they would make it right no matter what happened. They're just an awesome company. Up next, we got the Selkirk ball. This is the sturdiest ball in pickleball. These do have a warranty, I know that. I think they have a year warranty on their balls just because they know that they're not gonna break. I think it's like a pack of 12, you get a year warranty that all balls won't crack. Because they won't, because these are literal stones. This is such a heavy ball. I personally don't like playing with it that much just simply because it's so heavy. Doesn't feel like a normal ball. But if I'm gonna be drilling with a ball machine, this is what I wanna have in it because it's just gonna last forever. I've never cracked one of these balls. I don't know of anybody that's cracked a Selkirk ball. I'm sure there's someone watching this video that's like, I cracked a Selkirk ball the first time I hit it, but they just do not crack. Up next, we have the Lifetime ball. The Lifetime ball is the best ball on the market. I'm really happy that they are sponsoring the PPA and the MLP, because this is the ball that they should be using, and hopefully they continue using it going forward. It feels a lot like a tennis ball with its bounce. It's more bouncy than another ball, but you get used to that and it bounces consistently. I haven't ever had it skid, and it lasts a long time. They don't crack. So they last a really long time, not as long as the Selkirk, but highest recommended ball. These ones you can't get at the locker room unless you go into the store, but I'll have a link below for you. Up next we have the Vulcan ball. This is my least favorite ball because it bounces so inconsistently. It might start bouncing consistently for the first 4 or 5 shots, and then after that all of a sudden it skids or it goes in a random direction. I honestly can't stand it, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but that's the Vulcan ball. If you have a choice of balls, don't buy this one. I know these were like $4 when they first came out. They've definitely lowered the price just simply because they don't have the demand anymore since they're not sponsored by the UPA, but it is what it is. Lastly, we have the Dura Fast 40. If you're gonna get a Dura ball, this is one of the faster balls, not quite as fast as the Gearbox. If you're gonna get a Dura, I recommend this color. I see this color a whole lot better, but not just because of that. Also, when you get the green Duras, they skid way more than the yellow ones. It's as if they're putting like an extra coat of green paint and they skid way more. At least that's what I found. So I prefer the yellow because I see them better. Some people see the green better. I don't know what it is. Maybe you know. If you've played with the Dura green and the Dura yellow, let me know which one you see better, but I like the yellow way more. They're way more consistent on the bouncing side of things. I would probably rate this as like the second best ball on this list, and then Franklin after that for actually playing with. But still, it's pretty dang inconsistent, but nowhere in comparison to the Vulcan ball. Let me know any questions that you have below. This video took a very long time to be able to create since I've been wearing all of this gear and doing all this stuff for years. So if you enjoyed it and you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, do that right now, and I will see you on the next one.